Well, it is a major political announcement that does not involve the 2020 election. Nicole Parra from the 21st District has announced she will run for Congress in 2022. She is joining us right now live to talk about that decision. Nicole, thank you for being here this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. Good morning.
You know, we've already seen the announcement. We've looked at it on Facebook and everything as far as getting it out. But I need to ask you again, what was the strategy behind doing it right now with so much focus and all of this attention being thrown around with the 2020 presidential results?
Right. Well, you know, I'm not a rookie to this campaigning, and I wanted to make sure that when running for Congress, that I'm going to do it in the right way. You know, this is a large district, Fresno, Kings, Tulare, and Kern. And I'm one of the only candidates that actually has lived in each of the counties in my work in the Central Valley. And so for me to be able to walk from Arvin all the way up to Mendota to Fresno, come on back down to talk to the voters, to listen to the voters. We need to do it in the right way. You know, the track record of the Democratic Party in trying to win this race, they haven't, because they start too late. And so I want to start early, as I did. I want to announce, I want to engage, I want to get excitement into this district race. I want to talk to the voters, some who feel they've been ignored and not listened to. And I want to bring excitement and bring people back. And it's been really encouraging. And I'm excited to share my vision for the Valley and again, just talking to voters, getting people involved in the campaign. And I am so excited.
You have a lot of energy, and that's good because you are getting into this with David Valadao, who was just reelected in that battle with TJ Cox. We've just heard from one sort that he sent out a fundraising email, so it apparently looks like Cox is going to be back in this. I hope you brought your boxing gloves.
Oh, I am ready. I love that. It's funny you mentioned boxing gloves. I have the Tigers, one of my morning rituals that I listen to get motivated. But, you know, this is a serious race with serious issues, and I'm ready. And I'm excited. My website and all the social media will be up this week. And look, we need to talk about economic development, access to capital for small businesses, working with all of the things that I've worked with before with the federal interagency task force, helping to create the San Joaquin Valley Partnership, all of the legislation, all the bills that I got signed. Now, don't forget, you know, my record, I've been in the Valley. What people forget, they say, oh, where have you been? I've been in the Central Valley since I got out of office in 2008. I was in Fresno working for Governor Schwarzenegger with the Business Transportation Housing Agency, came back in 2012 to Kern County, you know, was teaching at Cal State Bakersfield, helped the $500 million Measure J bond get passed in 2017, which now you're seeing the fruits of that labor with Dr. Christian, who and her team and all the wonderful people who voted, the Vernon Valenzuela Veterans Center, the STEM Science and Technology Resource Center, the upgrades to Memorial Stadium, all of those things I was involved with, and proudly so. So I am born and raised here in Kern County. I've lived in the Valley majority of my life, and I'm excited about this race. Starting early is important to put your name out there and to say, you know what, Central Valley families, I am here. I'm going to work hard every day and earn your trust and be honored to be elected to Congress.
Let me ask you about that. At the end of the race between Valadao and Cox, it got very ugly. The ad campaign was very, and I think many people think the message got lost between what both candidates were trying to do. Is this part of your strategy? By getting out so early, you're able to get that message out before things take a turn? Because if history repeats itself, we could be headed down that path again in 2 years.
You know, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, I mean, starting early, ensuring that the voices of the people are heard and the issues I'm talking about. But, you know, we know campaigns, unfortunately, and that's one of the things when I was watching the debates between Cox and Valadao, I said, what is going on? Where are the issues? It was basically the same, well, you're a Trumper or you did this and it's too late. The people, we need someone who can get past that, you know, who has that record, many people didn't even know who TJ Cox was down here in the southern part of the Valley. So, you know, unfortunately campaigns, you know, with all the extra funding, they get pretty nasty. And, you know, some of my campaigns, you know, folks, you know, I'm ready for what's coming forward. But, you know, one thing as a candidate You just have to move forward and talk about the issues. And I'm going to talk about those issues.
Okay.
David Valadao has made some terrible, unfortunate, bad decisions for the Central Valley, especially his vote on the Affordable Care Act. I mean, to cut over 300,000 Valley families from who had pre-existing conditions. There's some things, that I just couldn't just sit on the sidelines. I have to get back in the ring, as you talked about, back in the ring. And it's not fun. Let me tell you, people like to hit when you get out early and like to say, dismiss your record, dismiss who you are. And that's hard. And it's hard for my family to see that. But you know what? I'm willing to do it because I love the Valley. Love the people.
And you've got a lot of energy, and that's a good thing right now because you're getting back into it. But I need to ask you one last thing here.
Yes.
And then we'll talk again as the months go on and we get closer. But I remember an article from, I think it was 2016, where you talked about wanting to take a step back for family life. Was there one moment or one thing since that time 4 years ago that you said, I need to get back in this? Was there one thing that stood out?
Measure J. When I was the campaign coordinator and we were working with Republicans and Democrats, when I was down in Arvin talking about the campus center, when I was talking to the veterans who would come in from wanting to phone bank and talking about the potential of that veteran center and looking in their eyes and seeing people come in. Oh, I told Dr. Christian and Congressman Bill Thomas was on the Kern Community College District trustee at the time. And I said, woo, look what we have here. People coming in and supporting this measure. And then when it passed that night, I was sitting with both of them and some community leaders, and it relit that fire in me. It relit that fire. So, and to see the buildings being built, I said, whoo, that's what relit that fire in me.
All right, Nicole Parra announcing she is running for the 21st District to challenge David Valadao and TJ Cox. Best of luck to you, and we will check in with you as we get closer.
Thank you so much. Have a good morning.
You too.